Good evening, everybody, and welcome.
On the beach in the sand, I think of you. I think of you. Did you realize I love you all my life? And when you're gone, I'm more alone.
As you know, I am CURT WILLIAMS, author, metaphysician, spiritualist, and hermeticist. One of the things we specialize here is the meditation aspect of all this and all of the wonderful, helpful benefits that you'll get from meditation. What we do is we run our energy. We run our energy through our bodies, through these energy points called chakras. Someone asked me one time how many chakras were there in the human body, and were there 8, and in fact there's actually like 115. And so, but a lot of people are unaware of all of these chakras because you have chakras in your fingertips, for instance, so that's 10. You have them in your wrist. So when you're running your energy through your hands, you're in fact taking care of 24 of them in the first place. Now, on the bottom of your feet are energy points. Energy is not just a word. Energy is also a feeling. When you feel something pushing, that is energetic. So anyway, so what we're experiencing now is energy pushing on the bottom of your feet. This is a foot massage that I happened to purchase to see how it worked. And come to find out that this thing here is an amazing tool for meditation. They come in all kinds. I'm not trying to endorse any type of product except for the product itself. There are many kinds. Do some research. Find out about these. If you've ever had a partner, a wife or spouse or whatever, and you sometimes look at them and wish they would give you a foot massage, for instance, and they, so get one of these and they'll be asking you, can they borrow it? As you meditate, it's a lot easier to visualize energy coming up through those chakra points when you actually can feel something pushing upon them. It's amazing, and they run in about 12-minute cycles, so that's a good length of time for a meditation anyway. So if sometimes you get bored with meditation thinking it's not doing anything, well, get you one of these and then you know it's doing something, because whether the meditation is working or not, the foot massage is. Meditation is going to work. It's going to work even if you don't feel it, because it is something that your spirit needs. This is a spiritual program. I'm trying to talk everybody in to understanding that your spirit is your primary aspect. Once you realize that, you give your spirit the power, then your life is beautiful. Life, you'll understand life, even the bad things that happen to you. You will understand that spiritually they happen for a reason. One thing my guru used to always say, we are cause and creator of everything that happens to us. I talked about Taraji P. Henson, the actor, about her complaining about her salary. And one of her complaints was that some of her white counterparts made more money than she did. Well, you get to be black. I mean, it's not that black is better, but if you are up for the challenges, then those are some of the places where the challenges will be. Being a black person in a country like America comes with extra, shall I say, extra needed emotional balancing type equipment. You have to make adjustments because it's not a black white thing where you have a white civilization or that's against a certain black people. But in my experience, you have more black people that are against black people, almost like a crab in the barrel thing. So we have to black people get it from every angle, but these meditation aspects, and when you realize that your spirit is in charge, it's nothing. All these things are very easy to handle. I knew coming in that the book I was going to write was going to be controversial. I knew that people who insist that the Bible is the one and only would have a big problem with me. But I welcome the challenge because there's nothing better than advocating something that you believe is the truth. And if you believe, like I do, that you have entire religions that don't know the difference between the creator of the universe and God, it's not my problem, it's their problem. They can get as mad as they want to when I tell them that they've been praying to the wrong God, that Yahweh was flesh and blood, and so was Jehovah. And so that might be difficult for them to hear, but that's not going to be my problem because I'm accustomed now to saying it. Once you write a book like mine, you're committed to this. Also, in addition to a foot spa that you can get to help enhance your meditation, I've been telling stories, little anecdotal stories that have to do with spirituality and the different areas. It's not enough for me to say, I've been hearing my spirit talk to me all my life. I like to explain some of them like testimonials, like they do in church, because I want you people to understand that, whoa, that happened to me. I want you to know that I, Kurt, am not unique. Everybody has the ability to do and hear what I'm hearing. You just have to know how to listen. You just have to know. So what these little anecdotal stories are just examples of ways. So I'm going to get used to telling them, because like I said, I got hundreds of them. I've had them forever. So one of them that was interesting, I'll tell this one because it's very short. About 40 years ago, I had a girlfriend, and I guess she got sick of me or tired of me or whatever, but instead of just breaking up with me, she came up with the excuse saying that her doctor told her she's going to die in 6 months. I wouldn't laugh about that, but this is 40 years ago, and as far as I know, she's still alive and kicking. But she told me her doctor told her she had 6 months to live. And of course, I felt horrible. What? And then she said that there was a guy that was trying to talk to her, and she was trying to decide if she was going to give him a chance before she passed away. And she was asking me for permission to, if she can see both of us. And I was like, this is Extraordinary, of course. If you only have so much time to live, you have to live it the way you want to. You have my blessings. You go ahead and you see that guy. Go ahead, girl, and I'll pray for you. You know, this is when I was into praying. I was gonna pray every day. You know, and all of a sudden, something kind of crossed my mind and it said, Kurt, this girl is a hairstylist to the stars. And remember me talking about Jane Kennedy, the the model from years ago? I knew she did her hair, and I was like, so yeah, you should go ahead and date the guy, but same time, why don't you put in a good word for me with Jane Kennedy, you know? That's what I thought. So she leaned over to me and she said, Kurt, I'm gonna see him and not you. Oh, I was devastated. I really was heartbroken. I believed everything that she said, and I was really heartbroken, and I got so mad. Oh, I was so mad. All I can think of was, I'm about to tear some shit up. I was really angry. I've never tore stuff up, and I think this is the reason why I never did, because the first time I thought about tearing stuff up, what happened was this. We were drinking some wine and it was a bottle, and I was sitting on the floor. She was behind me on the couch. First thing I thought was, I'm gonna grab this wine bottle and I'm gonna throw it to her TV. Bam! That's how mad I was. And a voice came to me. As we know now, it was Big Kurt, but it just sounded like a regular dude at the time. And it said, Kurt, you can't throw the bottle through the TV. You're going to have to replace the TV, especially if she only has 6 months to live. You're going to have to replace the TV. Don't do it, Kurt, don't do it. But I was still mad. I said, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this glass of wine and I'm going to splash it in her face. And the voice said, Kurt, don't do it, don't splash the wine, because the girl is going to have to get her hair washed, her hair done. She's going to charge you $50 for it. Don't do it, Kurt. Besides, she only got 4, 5, 6 months to live. But I was still so mad and I was angry, and then I said, I'm going to take this wine glass and I'm going to pour the wine on the top of my head. And a voice said, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I'm not playing this, I swear on my children, this is a true story. And I got 3 boys. I poured the wine on my head because the voice said it didn't see a problem with that. It just went splash. And the girl jumped back off the couch. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. I'm like, you think that was crazy? You should think, you better be glad I didn't do what I wanted to do. And I say this just to give you an example of if anything like this has ever happened to you, where you've heard a voice that tried to tell you anything, that means you are a spiritualist. Almost. You will become a spiritualist when you start respecting the voice and then understand that that voice that you're hearing is who you really are. And that voice is using an avatar, a body, to navigate life so that it can be enhanced. It's not for your brain and your body. Your brain and your body is going to die, and then you're going to get another one. It's almost as if God and your spirit are connected. God wants to experience these things through avatars through human existence. So he uses spirits to enter, to electrify biology. You couldn't exist without it. To electrify biology, biology wakes up. And then this navigation between your spirit and your body is what enhances the creator's experiences that it cannot experience because it's not biological. Biological is too simple for the creator. Biological is like Yahweh. Yahweh and Jehovah, they're biological. They have to go to the Garden of Eden and look and find and ask Eve and Adam, why did you do this? And how come you listened to the snake? That's a biological exchange right there. Everything here is physical. It's not spiritual. Spiritual, Yahweh would have already known where they were. Yahweh would have already known why Eve had on clothes and a leaf apron or whatever. Yahweh would have already known snakes don't talk. Not only that, but why the snake did what it did and why Eve did what. So this is biology. This is how biology works. However, spirituality, the creator of the universe, which is not physical, it cannot be physical because it is all things. And you can't be physical and all things at the same time, because all things at the same time mean you are physical too. So you can't discern, you can't chop off the difference. What you have, but in order for him the creator to experience life as it is from a corporeal standpoint, he had to put it into a unit like a human being that is going to respond to the physical with their brain and do stuff that the creator is not capable of doing. The creator of the universe is not capable of killing people. The creator of the universe is not capable of war, of anger. That's not possible for it because it's too broad for that. It understands that could happen to a limited-minded being like a human, but it cannot happen to a being like that, which is too broad for that. So that's why you have to understand the difference between the biblical gods and the creator of the universe. The creator of the universe, the ungodly things that the biblical gods do, the creator of the universe is incapable of doing. The creator of the universe is incapable of putting a person like a King James in charge of creating something that will define it, because King James doesn't have what it will take to create words that will be strictly indicative to the creator, nor 40 popes, nor the Greeks. There is no human being in the world that can interpret the creator of the universe. They can put words in there, and some of the words they'll debate on, and they'll take this one and take that one, which is what the Bible are. People are you're not appreciating what the creator of the universe is if you think everything is represented in the Bible. It's not his fault, it's yours. So anyway, I'm very excited about the final 4 chapters of this book. Actually, we now get to see Hermes come in the flesh and speak to Jesus. Hermes was a teacher of Jesus. So now we get to see Hermes in the flesh do his thing in this chapter, number 67, the final day. We'll be right back.
Chapter 67, the final day.
It was the last day at the mystery schools of Egypt at Hermopolis of Pnum. Yeshua, Jesus, and the students were eagerly anticipating the arrival of the person who at the time may very well have been the most exceptional human being that had ever lived. So extraordinary were the accolades of Hermes Trismegistus, or Hermes the thrice greatest, or, thought the Atlantean, or Mercury of the Romans and Greek, or the Egyptian, Tahudi, Jehudi, Tahudi, Tahudi, Chehudi, Techu, Tadin, and Jezeda. So many names, and so many years it was said that Hermes lived. This long life of many names was sure to be the main topic of the day's class. So important a day it was that most of the parents of the students were also invited to the class to see firsthand the amazing Hermes, that they too could understand the mysteries.
May I have your
The priest
attention,
began to
please?
introduce him. We now present to you Master Hermes, whose resume reads as follows. Master Hermes, the contemporary of Abraham and the writer of Asclepius, the Corpus Hermeticum, the Emerald Tablets, the Kabbalion, the Divine Pimender, the Tabula Smeraldina, the Way of Hermes, the Vigine of the World. These are just a few of the more than 2,000 books written by Master Hermes, who is also known as the Messenger of the Gods, founder of the occult wisdoms, the founder of astrology, geometry and discoverer of alchemy. He is known as the scribe of the gods and the god of wisdom, learning, literature and travel. He is also the founder of the 7 Hermetic principles. We can go on for days, months even, however we, because of time restraint, shall stop right here because I hear he is ready and growing tired of hearing yet again his quite lengthy and exhausting introduction, and have him come right up.
May I have your attention, please?
Introducing Master Hermes. The room stood on their feet as a short yet lean blonde-haired man walked to the front of the class. There seemed to be a very strange demeanor about him. It was as if he could tell exactly what each and every one was thinking about him and how wrong they all were. In fact, how could one formulate an opinion about someone who was so vastly different? Then he began to speak.
My students, or shall I say thy students of my school. I, Hermes, am more than blissfully enraptured and thrilled to be here before you, since I have done this many times before. I know the 5 most important questions that you have before me, and now let's get to it. First of all, you would like to know if there's any truth to the information about my longevity. You would like to know how old am I? How old do I look?
As the classroom paused as if to be given a trick question.
I have no idea. I haven't counted since the last time I was asked, and that would be about 2,200 years ago.
As the people looked at each other and then back to him.
The answer is very simple, but you must first increase your vocabulary in order to understand. You must understand that myself and many others that are living here with you are not from this place, and you must first accept this. Without this acceptance, your mind will be completely impotent in the matter.
The students as well as Jesus found it somewhat difficult to believe what they were about to hear.
It is true. The people of this planet are not the only humans in the universe, and are far from being the first ones here. Let me introduce where I am from, and also tell you of yet another race of humans that live among you. My people are from a cluster of stars called the Pleiades, and we have been here for a very long time. In fact, long before the Great Flood, I am sure you have all heard something about. The other such humanoid beings to be here with us are from a planet called Nibiru. So advanced are these beings that I refer to them as the Sky People. Taught me they to build these great pyramids and the Sphinx, single-handedly I might add.
Master Hermes knew by experience that it was then time to take a break before he gave them the most challenging of information. There had been many times in the past where upon just hearing of this information that some students refused to even come back from the break. However, in the class was one extraordinary student to whom all other students looked up to, and whatever he did, they would surely follow. During the break, several of the students and family sought out Yeshua to find out how he felt of the new information. They were extremely surprised to discover the opinion of Jesus, who said,
Well, that explains everything.
Some of the other students asked, how and what does this explain? Yeshua replied,
We should let him teach.
So after the break, Hermes began to explain.
Beings from the planets Nibiru and Atlantis share the commonality of long living. Lifespans of species are determined by the internal clock based on the rotation of the planet at their birth and its corresponding sun.
He continued,
Earth, with its consistent 24-hour day cycle and the corresponding 365 yearly cycle, would differ greatly with a species that had a 240-hour daily cycle and a 3,650 yearly cycle. The lifespan of the Atlanteans and the beings from Nibiru are measured by shahs. A shah would be the equivalent of 3,600 Earth years, and the average lifespan of the beings like us are 120 shahs, or approximately 432,000 years. This is how I, when I was but a baby, was able to steal my brother Apollo's cows. Though I was a newborn, I had been one for many years. We also know that so far away was the planet Nibiru to Earth that it could not be seen even at close proximity. The gods from Nibiru, who by now were calling themselves Anunnaki, during that time lived in the land of Eridu, were Alulind and Alugar. Alulind for 8 shahs, or 28,800 years, and Alugar for 10 shahs, or 36,000 years. Amalarius, 13 shahs. Aminamun, 12 shahs. Megalaborius, 13 shahs. Noes, 10 shahs. And Sisyphorius. The A in the name stands for progenitor. These gods would rule until the time that it took Nibiru to come back within proximity of Earth. Students, do you have any questions?
All students looked towards Jesus, and he said,
Not at this time, my lord.
Yeshua knew there were many questions to be asked, but knew they should be asked in private. Class was dismissed, and Yeshua then asked his mother and father to go on ahead and began to prepare to leave the city where he had gained great knowledge and wisdom that he would hold dear for the rest of his life. Hermes then asked Yeshua if he could take a little trip with him to the plateau at Giza. There was something there that he wanted Jesus to see, so of course, Jesus wanted to see this most important of things, so he hurried to tell his parents, who were preparing to take Yeshua to the land of the Hindus to learn Reiki healing from students of Dhanvantari, the Hindu god of medicine and avatar of Lord Vishnu. Yeshua told his parents to travel ahead and he would be soon to follow. Yeshua was such a great student and had made it through the schools of mysteries that his parents trusted Hermes even though Yeshua was still quite young at the time. So the next day Hermes, Jesus and the 3 priests began their journey to the plateau.
Subscribe and hit the like button.
Wasn't that amazing? As I say, welcome back. We have 3 more chapters to go, and then I can't wait to look at some of the older chapters. But everybody, we love everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and press the like button. We'll see you on the next show.
subscribe and push the like button.